Okay, so let's take a look at how you can build Pong game in Godot engine. So I have downloaded the Pong graphics from OpenGameArt. Okay, and I also separated these individual sprites. Okay, and as you can see, I have done left, right, separator, background, and few other sprites as well. Now what we'll do is we'll download Godot and create new project. Okay, once you download, you can directly run the exe. Okay, so start with new project, name this Pong demo and browse for folder. Okay, so it took the path. If you want, you can browse there, create new folder. Let's see, with Pong, right? Select current folder and now click on create and edit. Right, so next we will move to 2D tab at the top. Okay, this is the square where we will be dropping our assets. Right, next thing, we will create a new root node which is 2D scene. Right, now what we'll do is we will also add some assets. Okay, save it node 2D. We'll rename that later. Now what we'll do is we will open this path in file manager, right? And now what I will do is I will copy the game assets, Pong graphics, only the one that I need, and then paste it here. You can also create a folder here and add those sprites in it. Okay, now we'll add few new items to now we have our sprite. Right, let's name this left player. Right, we'll also duplicate this, name this right player. Okay, or you can simply add your sprite and then duplicate it. So let's delete this for now. Okay, now for left player we will add texture which is going to be left. Okay, so right, so we'll put it here. You can also scale it. Currently I think this is good enough. Right, so let's duplicate this. Let's name this right player. Okay, and what we'll do is we'll simply load right one. Okay, let's move it here. Right, so we have left and right, and we need to add one more ball, and then let's say we move it here, and now load with the sprite for ball. Okay, right, you can also add separator in between. Okay, so let's duplicate and use separator. Save it, and let's keep it here and change the sprite with separator. Okay, before that let me just edit its name. Right, now let's load it. Okay, now we can increase its height if we want. Okay, scaling, you can see, scale it with 3x3 or 4x4. Right, this is good enough, I think. Save this. Now we can run this and check how it goes. Right, so we will have to choose our scene, and here you can see our separator, Pong, and two left and right sprite within Pong game. Next we will do the movement for these two, and also the ball and the separator line properly aligned as per our window. Okay, so let's take a look at the project settings, resolution, and also the background color for Pong game in Godot. So I already created the initial setup, and I'm going to run that project now. In last part we covered the sprites and we laid them on the screen. Okay, so what we will do now is we will try to scale this. Okay, so go to project, then project settings, and here we have to check for our display settings. So let's take a look at display. Okay, so here window is pretty big. We change that to 640 and height to 400. Okay, similarly there is also render function, so we'll search for render. Okay, and we will render the color. Okay, so default clear color to black. Right, now we'll close this and save this. We'll run the code again, and here you see our only left player is visible, right player is not even within this screen. So we will again adjust the positioning and scale. So let's scale the left player. So we'll put this into, let's say, position of 40. Okay, and its Y position to 200. Right, and scale this to 11. Right, then comes our right player, its position to 600, and Y position to, let's say, 200. So both of them can be on the same line. Next we will do for our separator, its position we want to set to half of our window, so 320 by 200. Right, similarly I want to also do that for the ball here. Set it for 320, also 200, right? Now what we can do is we will run this and see where it is. So as you can see here, our sprite, both of them pretty big, but we want them big enough for this game. Also they are placed at the right points. Okay, one is 40 200, another is 600 200. Okay, also my both pads on left and right are set to 1:1 scale, right? Also clear color in the background is black, and our window size is 640 by 400. So these are the settings that we want to do. Next thing we will do is we'll do the movement for particular right and left pads, right? First we will look for right pad and then left pad. We will also see if they go beyond the movement of the window resolution. And then comes the part for this ball, right? We will see how that goes. So you get the idea how to set up your Pong game's resolution, its scaling, also clear color for project, and overall window resolution. Okay, so let's take a look at how to set the keyboard movements for Pong game. So what we have seen so far is we have added the sprites and we also align the items. Okay, so let me show you where we are so far. So our sprites are here. They are arranged for 640 by 400 window, which you can take a look at. Here you can see 640 by 400 window with these two sprites. This one looks a bit more glowing because this one I managed to cut it out a bit close. So this is slim one and this is the fatter version of that pad. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll add, okay, so what we'll do is we'll attach a script. Let's keep it Node2D as is. Let's create that, and now that we have pre-made code here which is extends Node2D, also ready function. So what we'll do is we will declare our variable. Let's name this constant player speed. Let's set it to 150 value. Now we will also set up one more function. Let's name this, okay, so it's already here commented out, function process delta. We'll just uncomment it and save our time, right? Now so line to add, set underscore process to true, right? Now what we can do is we will have to add a few entries for our movement of these two pads. Okay, so this one's being left, this one's being right. Okay, so what we'll do is go to project settings, then we will see input map here. Let's add a new one. So left underscore up, we will add it. So it's here. Let's add a key which is going to be W for left, right? And also left underscore down, add it, and add action for that, which is going to be S. So W and S for these two. And for right up we can add with, let's say, up key on our keypad, and right underscore down if we add that for key off, keypad down. Okay, right, now that we added this. Okay, so let's take a look at how you can do the movement of your pads in Pong game with GDevelop. So next thing would be, we'll be opening our project in Godot. Okay, I already created one GD script named node2d. Okay, I added one constant p speed, set it for 300 value. Okay, also added set underscore process set to true statement. And now within underscore process function, what I will do is I will create one variable. Let's name this right player position. Now it should take the position from our node. So get underscore node, and we will type in right player. Then it should get underscore position, right? Next we will do the same for our left player. So what we'll do is we will replace this right with left, right? Just few changes. So that's the change we have. Next we will do is we will use if statement, and we will check input dot is action pressed. So action just pressed should be ignored, and instead we will use action pressed, and we will take, let's say, right up, which is the action that we added, right? So first we will use our up arrow action. For that we will simply take right player position dot y-axis, sorry, it should be dot, not comma, then plus equals to minus p speed into delta. Okay, we'll do the same again for our right down. Okay, so right down, and instead of minus we will just keep it as is, so it retains the plus value and it will increment, right? Okay, now next thing would be we will be doing the same for left up and left down. So we will again copy, instead of going through all that code again, just use left up and make sure to change right to left as well. Okay, now here it should be left down. Okay, right down and left down. Yeah, now it's taken care of. Make sure the spacing is properly there, otherwise it will throw an error. Okay, so what we have done so far is we have set the position for left and right, up and down. Okay, now what we have not done yet is the movement, the final push, where we have to check for its global position and adjust left and right player position accordingly. So if we run this, nothing will happen. Okay, you can try the keys, but it won't function. So what we'll do is we will add our get underscore node and then choose for first right player. Now we have to use global position, right, equals to right player position, same get underscore node, then within bracket left player. Sorry, I have to fix the upper one first. Okay, and we choose left player, right? Now we will use global position equals to left player position, right? Save this. Now you can run this. Now here you will see, let's go with W. You will find it will move the pad, right? But have you noticed that with your left one it is not coming back, so we'll have to fix that. So for left we retained minus value as is, so that it will come back down, right? Now let's run this again. Now let's try to make it down with S, and it comes down, it goes up as well, right? Okay, now we can do some adjustment with speed. Go with 500, see how it goes. Okay, now speed is better now. With notice that it will go in and out of screen, so we have to restrict that. We will be adding limitations with screen size, and we will make it only movable within this screen. Okay, so we will add the limit for our entire square, and then we'll get the ball to move where it will go from top and bottom without much issues. But if it goes left and right, it should end the game and bring out the score. Okay, so let's take a look at how you can limit your Pong balls and pads movement within the screen that is allocated to the game. So what we'll do is we'll open our project and we will take a look at our screen resolution currently. So if I run this, you can see that currently our pads can go at high and at down as well, but I want to limit it to say this screen. The sprite will move up to half of its length up and down, okay, for both, and we will try to limit its size there. So we will have to take the dimensions for this particular rectangle, and we can do that by going to our screen here and move to the Node 2D script. Now here first thing we have to do is we have to create a screen size. Okay, that variable should later take screen size from our get underscore viewport rectangle, and then we will call for size, right? After that what we will do is we will try to adjust our right up right down and left up left down for a particular condition, right? So the condition would be right player position dot y is greater than 0. So considering that screen, we have to limit it up for right up is greater than 0, and our input here is okay. So we'll take a look at if there is anything wrong later. So okay, so this should be 0 and I had that O. Okay, now another change that I have to do is right player position dot y is again less than screen size dot y. And okay, so this is for our right pad, right? So it is limited now. If we go to the bottom, same again. So our right pad is now fixed. Now moving on to the left one, we have to do the similar. Left player position dot y is greater than 0, and similarly there should be left player position dot y is less than screen size dot y, and right. So save this and run. Okay, now let's see with our WS buttons, W and S. You will see that your left pad is also now limited for moving up and down the screen. Right, so we have restricted the movement for pads. What we'll do next is we will basically have to move this ball. Okay, and then there are conditions like make sure that it bounces from this pad and also bounces from the top, right? Then we have to check for it goes clearly into this left and right sides and disappears and starts again from this 0th position, and based on which side it goes, score should be updated. Okay, so that's basically the Pong game in general, right? So we will take a look at that part later. Okay, so let's take a look at how you can create the Pong game, and this time we are going to take a look at the ball movement. So let me open the project, and here you can see I already managed the movement of the pad on the right and with WS on the left. Now what we'll do is we'll move this ball at the center to go to left or right. Okay, so let's edit our node 2D. The first thing that we'll do is we will set a pad size so that in future when it collides with the left or right pad, we will get to know its collision. Okay, so next thing would be we will also add ball direction. So variable ball direction equals to vector 2, and it should take either minus or plus for direction. If it takes -1, it will move towards left. With +1, it will move towards right. So let's go with the +1. Right. The next thing we will do is also to variable initial ball speed. Okay, that should be constant, however, not variable. So let's have it as constant, right? So that every time a new game starts, it should tell you about that. Okay, it will start from initial 100 speed and increase once the collision happens. Next thing would be to set eyeball speed for that particular speed when it initially starts. Now we'll also take a look at pad size and assign it based on node like left or right pad. So pick one, or you can separate as well pad size 1 and pad size 2 for each left and right pads. Okay, next would be to get texture so that we can get the size with dot get size. Right, now we will have to also think of colliders so that it will collide top and bottom, right? And also it will collide your particular left and right player. So for now we will take a look at left and right player, that collider. So we will type in where left collider equals to, we'll use rect2, and within that function we will get node and put our left player, right? Then dot get underscore position, right? And then we use pad size multiplied by 0.5 into, right, and also pass it pad size. Similarly, we have to do this for right player, for right collider as well, right? So just replace left with right and rest of the stuff remains the same, right? Now what we'll do is we'll set the position of ball and then we'll try to give it a direction and movement. So for that we will type in variable ball position equals, we will try to get node for that particular ball for its current size, right? And then we will get its position with get position, right? Then we will have to set the direction, which is ball position equals to, we have to use plus equals to ball direction multiplied by ball speed multiplied by delta, right? Okay, so what we have done so far is ball position and its respective ball speed multiplied by delta value. Okay, so meanwhile we have errors to handle. So misplaced plus equals to, okay, so it's extra equals to before. So once fixed that, next thing would be to, we have to set the node as well. So get underscore node and set the ball for its global position. So before it collides, okay, we have to get its position and then get it to move. Okay, so we will go through the code and what we will do is we will resume for running our test, and you can see it moves to the left based on the minus value. If we change this to +1, it should move to the right. Okay, now what's left is the collision with left and right player and also the score update for whoever loses the ball. Okay, also we have to move the ball to the top and bottom and get it to get back to the one of the left or right players based on its angle, right? So here the collision has to happen at the top and bottom. Okay, we will take a look at that later. Okay, so let's take a look at how you can change the ball's speed as well as change its direction randomly in Pong game that we have been making in Godot engine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open my Godot engine project for Pong and I'm going to show you what we have done so far is here. Okay, so our ball can now collide with our left and right pad and it can increase in speed. However, the thing is that I want it to randomly change its direction to go top and bottom based on collision. So to do that, what we will do is we will simply open our script, and there we have to make few changes. First thing, we'll have to change the ball direction. Dot y equals to ball direction dot y, but here we have to instead make few change that we have to randomize the output with rand f multiplied by 2 minus 1. Okay, next thing that we are going to do is we have to also check whether the speed is greater than 300. Then we have to increase it. Then we have to use ball direction equals to ball direction dot normalize. Okay, and then we have to set a condition: if ball speed is less than 300, then I want our ball speed to increase to 1 multiplied by 1.2 each time that happens, right? So what we will do is we will run this. Okay, now you notice that it is going randomly at the top, right, and it's going away. Okay, we'll fix that later, but you get the idea how to randomly move its position. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll try to fix top and bottom collision for our Pong ball that we have designed in Godot engine. So let's open our Pong game demo, and here let's edit it. So let me tell you the problem we have so far is that when our ball moves, okay, it changes the direction. However, it goes to the top or bottom and stays on that particular line and goes out of the window. So we have to stop that, and to do that what we do is in our condition where we are limiting the ball direction, we have to check ball position greater than y, and instead of 0 we will use screen size dot y. So we have to limit it on screen size. So if we run this, okay, and let it colloid, it randomly goes top or bottom, okay, unless it goes to the left or right side of the window, it should not vanish, right? So it goes in left, that's perfectly fine. If it goes in right, that's also perfectly fine. Okay, so let's randomize the output here. So let it bounce and go away. Okay, that's perfectly fine. So you learned what we have to change in condition is we have to limit the screen size dot y for our condition for ball to move up and down properly with collision and only vanish in left and right side of the window. Let's take a look at how to adjust the right and left hand side of our Pong game. Okay, so let's see how much we have done so far. So if you check your project that we have been building so far, let's run it, and here you can see it will improve the speed of the ball, right? Once it's gone, right? So what we want is we want to bring it back to the center of this separator line, and also we have to check the score. So score part we will take a look at later. For now what we will do is we will bring back the ball to the center with a different direction. So to do that, what we'll do is let's add some condition. Okay, so let me use this part for ball position. Okay, so ball position, that I want to check is for x-axis, okay, which is going to be like left here and right here, and we have to check if it's less than 0 for left hand side. Okay, and once we check that, what we will do is we will ball position equals to screen size multiplied by 0.5. Okay, so after that, what we'll do is ball speed equals to initial ball speed, right? We have to bring it back to initial ball speed that we have. We also have to make sure that we are flipping its direction. So ball direction dot x equals to minus ball direction dot x, right? Next thing would be we have to do this for screen size. Okay, so ball position dot x greater than screen size dot x, right? Next thing we will do is we will use ball position equals to screen size multiplied by 0.5. Similarly, we have to check for ball speed equals to initial ball speed, right? Save this, right? What we will do is we will run this. Okay, now it will move to down, right? Let it cross right hand side and it starts from here. Now let it go to left and start again. Okay, right? So it starts like this, right? And it starts randomly, right? So you can repeat the similar screen size direction here as well. Okay, so what we can do is ball direction dot x equals to minus ball direction dot x, right? So what we'll do is run this again. Right, let it go to another side and start. Okay, and it starts from left. Right, so when you do it for right, it will start from left, and when you start from left, it will go to another. So you get the idea, right? Next thing we have to do is we have to also attach score, right? So we'll take a look at that later. Okay, so we'll take a look at how to add score system for the Pong game. So we have created Pong game in Godot engine. So if you have followed so far, and you can see we have managed to run it properly. It also restarts when the ball goes outside the left and right side wall. Okay, as you can see, it starts randomly. Okay, and if I just skip it, right, and let it go from right, it will start from left, and if it goes to left, it will start from right. Okay, so that's pretty much random. Okay, now what we have to do is we have to restart while counting the score. So for that, what we will do is we will first add rich text right? So we'll take a look at rich text label. Okay, so create it and let's name it score1. Okay, let's duplicate this here and name it score2. It will automatically goes with that. So score1 here, score2, we will add it here, right? So here is our okay. Considering the small screen size, you have to get it properly. Okay, so our score2 is on right here and score1 here, right? Next thing, I may also add player1 and player2. So let's add child node. Okay, so let me add label. So for label, we can duplicate two labels, basically label 1, label 2. Vertical space seems to be okay. For that, we can also assign text. Here we will add player1 for our left hand side. Okay, so here let's go with player2, and for label 1 let's improve its length, player1, right? Okay, so let's see how it looks. Currently it looks a bit scrappy, I know, but let's arrange it in top left and top right corner. Okay, so what we have to do is we have to set the score now. Now for score1 and score2, what we will do is we will add the variables. So let's take a look at the top variable declaration. So var score1, okay, and we are setting it initial to 0 for both, right? So var score2 set to 0, okay, right? So here is the value, right? Okay, next thing we will do is we will make the change here that when ball position x less than 0, we will increase the score2 plus equals to 1. So whatever the value is, we will add +1 over there, and for screen size greater than x, which is our right, so score1 plus equals to, so that would be again another increment, right? And we also have to add that particular node at the bottom. Okay, so get underscore node, and we'll use score1 dot, which is going to be appended value, set underscore text. We have to convert that string value into our score1, right? So if we get node score2, then set underscore text for string value of score2. Okay, so let's take a look at, right? Okay, so there are no errors now, right? If I run this, let's see if it works. Okay, as you can see, our score is changing. Right, both of those scores are now visible. Only difference here is we have issue with the adjusting the player label and its score in same line, so that's the only problem, but otherwise we have it as a working game right now. Okay, so you get the idea how to add the scoring system to the Pong.